I'm here with Mark Nelson of Rio Grande, and you know, Mark, this season is all about technique, and it's also about getting your design, getting your projects up to another level.
Right.
One thing that helps that is by having a great workbench.
Exactly.
And what's nice is that we're going to start to help you set up your workbench.
Right. And with some basic tools that will really help you in your work and getting things done.
Because I think that's a big thing. You know, you want to have a proper workspace, but you're not sure what to put on there
Right.
and what you're going to need. So.
Well, let's talk about the workspace first.
Okay.
The actual table itself. It can be actually a good sturdy table that you can do some hammering on, or it can be like a workbench that has drawers and you can store your tools in,
yeah.
which is really nice in keeping things organized.
Just as long as I think it's nice to have an area that's dedicated.
Dedicated space.
That you can work in and know that it's not going to be used for anything else, and you can have it anytime you want to.
Right, you get much more efficient that way. And actually your designs get better because you're not shuffling tools around so much.
Yeah, or sharing space, which is good. All right, let's get started. Well, we're going to start, where are we going to start?
Let's start with the light.
Okay.
Because you got to be able to see. And most rooms have really poor lighting.
Yeah.
So you want an overhead light that you can pull down and actually get right down on top of your work when you need it. And then it will swing away when you're not needing it.
That's perfect. So it's not going to impede you at all.
Exactly. And then talking about seeing, a lot of times we need a head.
Here?
Yeah, well, this is a good one. You need something that you can help you see, a magnifier. This is a really nice one in that it has a light on there, so you can see a little bit better. It has different types of magnification. You do want to pick one that's comfortable for you.
Yeah.
Because you're going to probably wearing it a lot. I know I do.
Yeah, especially when the eyesight starts not being what it needs to be and you're working on really intricate things.
Exactly.
Now, is this another type
That's
of
another
head
type
tier?
of magnifier. And there again, this one rests on your head. It's a little bit heavier. And it'll swing up and out of the way when you need to talk to people.
Okay.
And swing down when you're working.
Perfect.
So,
Okay,
and they come with a variety of different magnifications too.
Okay, now we go from the head pieces and the magnification into
The flex shaft.
tools.
Yeah, flex shaft. I consider the flex shaft one of the more important tools to have. It just allows you to do so many different things, from grinding, polishing, carving. It's almost almost everything you can do.
Yeah, and this one works with the foot pedal.
Works with a foot pedal, kind of like a sewing machine. It's a variable speed.
And you know what's exciting is we're actually going to talk about this in depth in a later episode. So
Okay,
that's going to be
great.
a lot of fun. Okay, now we go from the flex shaft and we're moving into these pieces. Okay.
Right, those are saw frames. And we'll use those actually to cut the metal. Either doing pierce work where we're cutting designs out of sheet metal. We can cut wire with it, tubing. We do get a variety of saw blades which are right next to it.
Okay, so that would be these right here?
Right, they do tend to
are the
break
blades.
easily, especially in the beginning. And you do want a nice
Different
assortment.
width?
Different widths, different sizes for different metals and different techniques.
More fine, some different techniques. Okay, what do we have here? What's that?
That's a burnisher, and we'll use that for actually polishing metal, using it to rub on silver or copper and giving it a bright shine. We'll also use it for stone setting, if you want to set cabochon stones and stuff like that.
Great.
The one next to it is a dual purpose. One end is a burnisher and the other end is a scribe.
Okay.
The scribe is used to mark the metal where you want to cut it if you're measuring and stuff like that.
Now, these pieces, this next one, kind of reminds me of geometry class.
A little bit, yeah.
Or also, I use it to measure watch cases.
Exactly.
Yeah, the caliper.
They're both calipers. One, this one is a digital.
Okay.
So when you turn it on, it'll actually read out in inches or millimeters, which is really nice.
Yes.
You can also go with just a standard old brass one, and it'll open and close, and you'll get a measurement each time.
Okay.
Some kind of measuring device like that is pretty essential so that you can cut the same on each piece.
And what about this right here?
A good old set of dividers.
Reminds me of a protractor.
Very, very, very old tool, still around and still used quite often. It's used to set a distance so that you can mark it off each and every time exactly the same.
So that your design can be balanced.
Right.
And you can have everything weighed out perfectly. And then here's another good old-fashioned
Good old-fashioned ruler is always good to have.
And then what's the round
round thing?
in front of it?
The round thing is a gauge measure. And I need to pick this up and kind of show you here.
Okay.
You would think that these holes are what you measure in, but you measure in the slots right here. And you measure wire or sheet by going in the holes like that. And when it stops or gets real snug, we know that this is a 10
That's
gauge.
a 10 gauge. Oh, that's
Right.
interesting. I've never seen one of those
Very,
before.
not real necessary. If you have calipers, you can measure it
Right.
and cross-reference. But by having that, and you have some strange wire laying around, you'll know exactly what size it is.
Okay, and next, it's all about the safety.
Safety glasses are always good to have.
Especially when you're using the flex shaft and
You
some of
must
the other
have when you're
places.
using the flex shaft.
Yeah, and torches and stuff like that.
Right.
So we have that. And then what are some of these? We have two different types of block or bases.
Right. This is the plain piece of wood that you use to drill on, so you don't drill into your
this one
work
closer.
surface.
Uh-huh.
This one happens to be a steel block that you do a lot of hammering on.
Okay.
Okay. And then down here at the very end, you want what they call a bench pin.
Okay.
And it's all kinds of different bench pins, but you use that to hold your work while you're cutting.
Great. All right, and now these are files?
Some are files and some are sanding sticks.
Oh, sanding sticks, that's right.
And sanding sticks are really nice to have. They make sanding a lot faster.
And then that's files.
Files are here, and you do want to have one or two at least. One's a half round that you can do inside rings, and it's flat on one side and round on the other.
And then what's that next?
This one?
Uh-huh. Oh, actually, did we get this one? Is that also a file?
No, this is a actually craft knife.
A craft knife, okay.
And then we have another one, a bench knife,
Okay.
which is really nice because you can use these for all kinds of things. I use mine a lot for a screwdriver, for working on the flex shaft tools.
Yeah, so different things.
Very nice
Okay,
to
good.
have around.
Great.
This thing?
Uh-huh.
This is a ring clamp, and it has a wedge that actually does the clamping.
Okay.
So you can hold almost just pretty much anything in there.
All right, moving right along, let's get to the tweezers.
Tweezers, always nice to have to hold just all kinds of sort of things.
Okay, hammer.
Hammer, you do want one or two steel
Chasing,
hammers for riveting and forging, and a mallet. If you're working on rings, you'll need a ring mandrel.
Right, and we actually are going to talk a lot about hammers and stuff too coming up later
Oh,
on.
yeah.
This is going to be fun. And then, of course,
A set of pliers with cutters.
okay,
And then some other
Nice handy
housekeeping
tool.
stuff is I like rags. I use up old t-shirts, work really great. You want to keep it clean with a brush and a pan.
and then what are these?
A set of needle files. If you don't go with the large files, a set of needle files will get you a long way.
And this is your favorite.
Yes. That's
your lubricant.
My lubricant,
Okay.
used for all kinds of cutting and drilling and stuff.
Great. So this is a great way to get everything just set up in your bench, and so hopefully this is going to be helpful for you so your designs can be elevated into the next level. Thank you so much, Mark.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back.